Heading up towards Muir Pass on the 9th day of our hike. There it is in the foreground. This is our last 12,000 foot pass, and it's also the last of these 4 that are one after another. We've got close to 20 miles before the next pass. Right through it you can see one of the Palisade peaks. I'm not sure which one, but those are 14,000 foot mountains over there. The pass itself is 12,100. It's another one of those passes where I ask myself, how on earth do we get over that? But there is a trail the whole way up. I've even been over it before, but I can't remember how we went. Looks a little different from here. You can see people moving back and forth on this next set of switchbacks. And the view down is great.
Here's the top of Muir Pass. Actually, that's the top, but, well, there's a good enough. And here's the view. There's the other side. That's where we're going. Somewhere over there.
Looking down the other side and looking at some of the highest peaks in the area. Straight ahead is North Palisade. Just to its right is Mount Sill. And then this one over here is Middle Palisade. All of those are over 14,000 feet. And we go down that valley for a long ways. Planning on lunch by one of those lakes. It's starting to dry out after a dramatic rain and hailstorm. I wish I could have shown you, wish I could have gotten the camera out, because this valley that we just came down right back there was really remarkable, remarkably cliffy. Absolutely magnificent. So we're headed down there and we'll probably camp near the bottom of the valley, or maybe just around to the corner to the right where another tributary comes into this creek. It's raining again for the second time today, and here, since William's bivouac sack leaks, he's squeezing in with us.
We had a wonderful pass over Muir Pass, and then it started raining just after lunch when we stopped at
Lower Palisade
Lake. And after that, the descent down the Golden Staircase was glorious and terrifying, because it started hailing and raining all the way down for an hour and a half.
Not to mention wet and cold and mildly miserable.
Yes. But then it stopped and the sun came out, and we all sort of dried out on the trail. And we hiked how many miles today? 15 miles.
15 miles, yeah,
So,
our longest in this trip.
But now we're all cozy together, and William, you want to show them around the tent?
Well, we have
We're drying our
clothes
socks and our
hanging up
clothes
here,
inside. William,
and we're very close to the edge. It's not meant for 3 people in here, really. But
that's all for now.
We'll be all right.
This part of the trail goes through LeConte Canyon. It's a canyon cut by by glaciers, but the middle fork of the Kings River flows down it now. Up on the right, that valley leads up to Basin, which is a magnificent high elevation place covered with lakes and surrounded by very high and rugged peaks. But this canyon itself is pretty magnificent. Here we have the famous rock monster. The sun is coming out after another rainstorm. Things are brilliant. Gleaming wet rocks, clouds just lifting off of crags. A magnificent valley. The valley has really opened up behind us, and the river is flowing quickly. The weather seems to be clearing. Lake Helen is placid. Lake Helen is apparently named for one of John Muir's daughters. And Muir Pass is right up there. There's a lot of rock around here, and still a little bit of snow. 4,000 feet elevation gain over 11 miles. It's been a tiring morning. Getting a bit of a rain squall right now, and we're headed down this way into the famous Evolution Basin. And those are the two of the higher lakes in the Evolution Basin. We're surrounded by all kinds of wonderful crags, and then right here at the hut is the famous Muir Hut, built in honor of John Muir. So quite a structure. Nice to have it in this little squall.
Thanks for taking my backpack, John.
Eating dinner inside the hut, sheltering from the rain outside. It's a pretty nice space. Look at the ceiling. Corbelled ceiling. It's nice. A little high altitude blister prevention.
Hope that'll do the trick.
Mom's feeling better.
Wanda Lake. And back there is Muir Pass, where we ate dinner in the hut. The night's camp at Wanda Lake, high up in Evolution Basin. Our two tents. Got a neighbor in the background, and another neighbor here. William is on top above the cliff right here. And look at the sunset. Sunset light on the mountains. Muir Pass is visible in the distance with that conical hut up on it. What an evening. I'm glad that it's finally clearing up.
A quiet alpine sunrise on Lake Wanda, day 11 of our hiking trip. We are still enjoying our inside sleeping after a surprise storm last night. We went to bed with stars, and the most stars we've seen because it's been full of moonlight up till now. But around 11 p.m. a huge storm blew in, and lightning, thunder, some like a quarter of a mile away. Wasn't too scary, but enough to experience the dangers of alpine camping. And my shirt that blew off the rock it was trying to dry. But good morning. We get to hike down into
Evolution Valley this morning.
Evolution Basin with Evolution Lake in the middle of it. Here's a geology lesson, or rather a glaciology lesson. We've come to the very bottom end of Evolution Basin, which is right behind us up here. Evolution Basin ends in a sudden drop because it's a hanging valley. The valley below is carved by glaciers coming out of these canyons to the left, as well as the glacier that came down right where I'm standing now to carve the valley that's called Evolution Valley, not to be confused with Evolution Basin back behind me. If you look down at the very bottom, right in front of those cliffs, you can see the bottom of Evolution Valley, because Evolution Valley is itself a hanging valley above what's now the valley of the San Joaquin River, the South Fork of the San Joaquin River. We plan to camp somewhere in this valley tonight. It's been a short day. We resupply about 6 miles down the San Joaquin River Valley. Magnificent view. Finishing up lunch on a overlook above Evolution Valley, and preparing dinner also. We've been having some more rain this afternoon. We got into camp early today and set up before it really started, and now it is finally clearing, and it looks magnificent in this valley. This is McClure Meadows in Evolution Valley. We're off to a pretty early start this morning, and about 8:15 we got to the infamous ford of Evolution Creek, right below Evolution Meadows. When I was last here, this was up to my hips, but today it's much lower. It's shallow enough that we decided we would go across barefoot and keep our shoes dry, except David, who preferred to have them on.
The water is actually very refreshing.
And now it's time to put on our shoes. Evolution Creek gets a little bit wild down here just below our ford. We've already passed several pretty good cataracts, and it's just cascade after cascade down into the San Joaquin Valley. There's William down there. Kids are all ahead of me. They're really eager to get to our first resupply at Muir Trail Ranch. Because today is day 12. They're hoping to get some new food. There's another wonderful waterfall out of the hanging valley across the canyon.
Wow, what a valley.
The valley of the San Joaquin River, South Fork of the San Joaquin River. The Muir Trail Ranch resupply place.
A wonderful place
There our
to...
kids, you'll eat all kinds of food out of the discard bucket.
We got some loot from MTR Free Box. So thank you whoever donated. That lady, I don't know her name. else should we get today?
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
My hot dog.
We're living high on the hog after our resupply.
Go